But Thierry Henry's spitting facts. And, Carragher's going, wow, refreshing to hear. Roy Keane's like, facts. Because that's what Roy Keane does. He just says it how it is. He don't care if it's United. He's played for him for ages. He's slagged them off more than anyone in where the position they're at. And this is why I love pundits like Thierry Henry, pundits like Roy Keane, pundits like Paul Merson, pundits like Emmanuel Petit. Because what they're doing is they're saying, time to win, Arsenal. You won when I was playing for you. Time to win. And unfortunately, you've got other pundits that played for the club that don't want to go, oh, I better not because I've got to keep things sweet with the club. Come on, man. Like, let's just be real. Let's just be real. It's crazy for me. Like, it's crazy. I've got to be honest. It's a madness, if I'm honest. Egal's texting me, come on, mate. Henry is wrong. Can you believe it? Right, let me send the link to Egal. He's coming on, man. I can't have this. What is he doing? Let me get Egal on. Egal, you're coming on. I'm sending you it now. I want you to explain to me why he's wrong. I know it's late, but you got 10 minutes, I'm sure. DFA 9D. Whoops. Is he gonna? Dan, come on, mate. Henry is wrong. Why is Thierry Henry wrong, Egal? Come on. I've sent you the link, Egal. Jump on. I wanted to wrap the show within an hour, so you got 5 minutes to jump on and tell me why. Here we go. He's here. Let's talk. Where is he?
What's going on,
bro? What are you saying?
Listen, he's categorically wrong about the Sterling point. The Sterling point.
Talk to me.
Did you hear what he said about Sterling?
No, I didn't actually. Go on.
He tried to say that Arteta is the reason why Sterling is there, and Arteta wanted Sterling, and he chose not to get a striker. His exact words were, he got Sterling when everybody wanted a 9, as if he did not want a striker. And then he went out of his way to say that everyone was screaming for a number 9, apart from when we won against Madrid, of course, right? But we need a 9. Arteta said on numerous occasions, he's not against getting a striker. It's just the club did not deliver on the striker. And we're acting as if he has all the decision-making in the transfer window.
Can I come back on one point quickly?
Yeah.
Why did Mikel Arteta then, when he signed Thierry Henry, when he signed Raheem Sterling, why did Arteta say within 10 minutes, I knew I'd made the right decision?
Bro, you're going to cope. You're going to say whatever the hell you have to say to get to when you bring a player through the door.
So he was lying then. So he was lying then.
No, but everyone, when they sign a player, they're going to look at it from the perspective of it's going to work out. You're not going to look at it from the perspective of it, oh, it's going to flop. How many players are you going to see somebody sign and be like, you know what, I never wanted in the first place? Who does that?
No. I know he would never say that, but you just keep your mouth shut.
You're asked in an interview about a player. You keep your mouth shut. That's an admission of guilt that you feel like the player's not going to be.
No, what you do though, if someone says Raheem Sterling, you say it's a player I know, it's a player I've worked with before, and he wants to come here, and we want to try and he wants to try and help us this season, something like that. You don't say within 10 minutes I knew this guy was the one that I knew I'd made the right decision. Like, come on, man, you put a lot of pressure on yourself. This has probably gone down as bad as the Willian signing Sterling. So why was Thierry Henry wrong with what he said? What else did he? Because I thought he was spitting facts.
I think he's completely wrong to point out the Raheem Sterling point as if, instead of getting a striker, we decided to get Raheem Sterling, as if we had a goddamn choice. It was late.
Was this on the overlap?
Yeah, it was on the overlap. His exact words: he got Raheem Sterling when everyone wanted a 9, as if Arteta did not want a number 9.
Why has he not bought a 9? Let's quickly ask this question then. Why have we not got a striker in 5 years? Talk to me.
First of all, we got Jesus. That's one. Number two, the
club. He's not a striker. Go on.
Number two, the club turned down the option to sign Isak because it was 15 million over their valuation. Is that on Arteta?
Who told you that?
The Athletic.
David Ornstein.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think that?
Sorry, we're laughing. Is David Ornstein not a credible source?
No. It's just I knew you were going to say it because you always it's a thing you and Lee gonna have, right? You always
Lee
laugh.
hates David Ornstein. I know.
Yeah. I don't hate any of them. I don't have any say on who's better than who. I think that I'm impartial, right? But I'll say this: I don't think we can look at one person on this scenario. So I'm with you. It's not just Mikel Arteta, but when someone says this summer you have this amount of money and you spend it on Marino and Calafiori instead of one of the strikers that we could have got. Let's not go through the lists again because we all know the lists are. I don't think we can look at anybody else but Mikel Arteta on that because I don't think the board have said, oh, no, you're not allowed a striker, mate. You've got to get Calafiori and Marino. That's where I don't get it. That's where I don't get it.
I think whenever Henry's given an opportunity to criticize Arsenal and Arteta, he is not being 100% objective. There's times where I feel like he's overdoing it. And my main point is about the number 9 part, is because for you to sit there and to put all the blame on the manager for the recruitment, for the signings, for every single player that's walked through the door is crazy to me, because Arteta does not have all the control. There's a lot of things that are not in his control, and one of those things is which specific players come through the door, because there's definitely players he's wanted in the past. He wanted Sesko last summer. He wants Sesko now. Sesko is not going to be joining us. It's probably going to be Gyökeres. He wanted Isak. He wanted Isak back then. We didn't end up getting him. Guys wanted Bruno G back then. We didn't end up getting him. There's a lot of players we wanted. We did not end up getting. And there are some players that maybe he's like, you know what, maybe this is the best option of what's available, that didn't necessarily work out. But regardless, I feel like we're super critical on that specific point. When he talks about trophies and getting to finals, to me, he's not wrong about getting to finals. We should get to more finals. We should be more competitive in the cup competitions. That part I fully agree with. The part that I disagree with is he acts like we didn't compete. The fact that we competed the last 2 years for the league is the equivalent to getting to a final and losing. He's crediting Manchester United for getting to finals and losing, but in the same breath, not giving Arsenal any credit for competing in the league for the last 2 years prior to that. And then he says we didn't compete this year. I don't care if we didn't compete this year.
Why do people need to give us credit for competing?
No. Because he's not being consistent. He's not being consistent. Now, as much as Henry's a legend, you can dispute his point. His point is objectively wrong. For him to say Arsenal did not compete on any level is wrong. We definitely
didn't compete this season.
We definitely competed for the league the last 2 years. For him to say we did not
this season.
Forget about this season. He specifically pointed out getting to finals. Okay, we didn't get to finals, but did we not compete to the final days for the last 2 league titles? Did we not compete for the last 2 league titles? It's a thing where he's almost like ignoring one thing and then shifting the blame to something else.
But you know what I think his point is, and I think his facts? He actually said, and it wasn't about we haven't won a league yet. It was we haven't got to a final yet. We haven't won a cup yet. And I think that's fair, because one thing I've done is remain consistent about this. I actually am not as negative of what people say I am, because I've said his minimum expectation is to compete for the Premier League and to win a trophy alongside it. A lot of people have said, no, he's got to win a Premier League, mate, or he's gone. I've not said that next season. I would be quite happy to win a trophy, whether it's a Champions League, a Premier League, and if it's not one of those two, win one of the domestic cups and compete to the last day of the season if you come second call, because we've actually lifted something. Now, Thierry Henry is saying that, win a trophy, because in the last 5 years, he said, we'll go about Man United. We've just seen Palace, Chelsea and Spurs and Newcastle all lift trophies this season and alongside Liverpool. This ain't good enough, Egal. We have this squad is good enough to win a trophy. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So why are we not, man?
Simply put, we prioritized the league the last 2 years prior, and this year we just were far off it due to injuries and other things. But the reality of the situation is, I don't disagree with him on the trophies part. Okay. I disagree with him on the part where he chooses to focus on one thing and ignores other factors.
Okay, let me ask you this before we close. Let's try and be a bit more positive. Link with Zubamendi, medical looks booked. Gyökeres is our number 1 target, we believe.
That's going to get.
I hope so. There's rumors of a left winger coming in as well. Talk to me about this window. What do you expect?
Let me ask you a question before we go into this window. Do you understand why people are melting down over the goalkeeper situation?
Not really. No, I'm with you on that one. We need a goalkeeper that's a backup. We're going to lose Neto.
Yesterday, people were losing their shit. They're basically saying we have the opportunity to sign an Alisson or Courtois level goalkeeper for 20 million at this moment in time, and we're missing out on it.
Who is it?
Joao Garcia.
What? He's not Alisson Edison level.
No, they're saying potential.
Oh, okay. Potentially, he could be brilliant.
He's tall. He's really good shot stopper. He might not be good at kicking as much as Ederson or Allison, but apparently this Garcia guy, it could be a generational keeper. Now, if we're missing out on the Mbappe of goalkeepers for 20 million, are you going to be upset?
Yeah, well, listen, I didn't think he was that good. I mean, I heard he was quite a good goalkeeper. I didn't think he was going to be a Mbappe style level of goalkeeper. I'm hearing that Newcastle and City want him, right? But he's going to want first team football. We can't
There's
offer him that.
no chance he goes to Newcastle.
Why?
No chance he goes to Newcastle. I'm telling you right now, this guy is the next top keeper in the world. He's going to end up at Man City or Chelsea.
Probably Man City then.
Yeah, but he already told Barcelona run up because of the Espanyol and Barcelona beef. But he's definitely coming to the Premier League. We missed out. Edu and these guys didn't want to pay an extra 5 million or something like that last year.
Oh my God, really? That is embarrassing. Yeah, I've heard good things. Even Guns, Lee Gunner has said that he's really good and he watches
Oh,
the league.
man's in a relegation battle and he has like 16 man of the matches as a keeper.
Wow. But how much is he? Like 25 million?
20 million. 21.
He's not gonna come Arsenal though, is he? And sit on the bench.
Apparently Arsenal have had the most conversations with him, but it's a situation where if Man City can offer him first team football guarantee start and Chelsea can offer him first team football guarantee start, that's going to be a big blow. So already we're starting behind the ball there. Then I'm worried that we're not going to get Ederson. I mean, not Ederson. What's it called, Rodrigo? Because Man City, they're going to be willing to pay ridiculous money. If Real Madrid if Real Madrid want to sell Rodrigo to Bayern or Man City, he's probably going to go to those guys before us because they might be willing to pay more money. So that's where I'm worried also. I think Gyökeres and Zubimendi is going to happen. I don't like the Leroy Sané links. I think it's bullshit. What I'm waiting for to see is, also the stuff about Morgan Gibbs-White is bullshit. Also, there's no way we're spending £100 million on Morgan Gibbs-White in this window when we have so much things to do.
I'd rather get Eze.
I think keep an eye on the Valencia centre back that they were talking about.
Oh yeah, who is this guy? What's his name? He's got a long name, right?
Mosquito or something like that.
Mosquito, is that his name?
I don't know. What's his name? Something M, right?
Mosquera. Is it Mosquera? Christian.
That's where I messed up the name. I thought it was Mosquito.
Nah, yeah, you're right. Mosquera, yeah, Mosquera. 20-year-old centre half and 6'2" centre back. Is he right-sided?
I don't even know, man. All I know is he's one of those guys where if we don't sign him now, somebody else is going to sign him, and then he's going to be worth like 80 million in like a year.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. If I'm
honest. Just cautious to sign players from Valencia because of the whole Mustafi project.
Yeah, the last centre back we bought from Valencia was Mustafi.
I think the Henry debate really comes down to not Arteta in or Arteta out, but just nitpicking the words that he chooses to use and how he speaks. But when it comes to this transfer window, I'm not worried, Dan. I'm not worried. People are panicking too much. Liverpool look like they're getting
kind
4
of
deals.
Reassured by Berta.
Yeah, Berta's doing well.
I think
but the main thing
is good. He's a right-sided centre back, by the way. So I'd like to look at that.
The main thing I'm looking for this window is just make sure you have all the pieces ready to go before preseason. So Zubimendi, Gyökeres, the left winger. If we're gonna get in an additional midfielder or two, midfielder or something else, please have them all ready before preseason. The only players you don't necessarily need before preseason is the backup keeper and like a backup center back or something like that. You know what? I was listening to Christian's Christian, that's his name, right? The gentleman that was on that stuff. He did a TikTok where he asked ChatGPT what Arsenal need to win the league, and ChatGPT said we need another centre back and midfielder.
No, mate. Do you know what probably we do? We need so much, bro. Like I was on, I think it was Marty who said we need 3 players, and he was like, we need Eze, we need Williams, and we need Gyökeres, like something like that. And I was like, we need so much more than that. Like for me, like I really am worried about us being short again because of the players that are going to leave. Like let's be real, the goalkeeper situation, I'm not in meltdown if we don't get Joan Garcia because he wants first team football. We can't offer him that unless Joan Garcia is better than Raya, right? So that one's not going to happen. I don't really care who we get in, if I'm honest with you. I don't even care if it's Cole Hines back up. They're never really going to play, right? But in defence, we do need a right-sided centre back.
Injuries can happen.
Yeah, look, they can, and it would be
Look
a
at
sod
this
draw that
year.
it happens.
Allison went down.
But,
Who stepped up?
yeah, I mean, look, Joe Garcia would be great, but I don't see it happening personally. In the chat, we're in the we need in real talk, we need the right-sided centre back, and if that Mosquera is going to come in, I'm cool with that. Joel Harto's linked as well. He's the more left-sided centre back, and then obviously
He's going to
Zubimendi
cost
coming
a
in.
pretty penny though.
Yeah, I think he's about 40 million or something. Yeah, like Simba was.
If he
Zubimendi,
comes in though, I wouldn't be surprised if Miles Lewis-Skelly goes into midfield and he starts at left back.
maybe. Or we have, I think Kivio will go if Harto comes in.
People saying it's bedtime, guys. I don't have work tomorrow. That's the only reason why I'm up.
To be fair, yeah, I was like, I'll do a show. I'll get off by midnight, which is probably going to happen because we're going to wrap up now. But yeah, man. Up top, Gyökeres over Sesko, right? Please tell me that.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I've been watching. You know what? I spent my whole morning watching scouting reports. I watched about 5 of them, and what I've denounced from the scouting reports is very simple. Sesko is the better player overall, but he's not ready to be a goal scoring striker at a top like caliber yet. Where Gyökeres, what he's better at, he's a better ball striker. He's better with both feet. He like ball striking with both feet. He doesn't have a weak foot to the level where Sesko does. He might not be as good in the air. He's terrible in the air, to be fair. Like he doesn't really do well holding up the ball. But in what he lacks in those positions, he does well in tight spaces. When it comes to like his footwork in and around the box. Like if he gets the ball to his feet instead of to his chest or to his head, he'll definitely get an opportunity to turn and shoot. Where Sesko is kind of like RVP. He's very raw. He has that ability to take shots first time in the air, volley. Doesn't need a touch. He's really good in the air overall.
What makes you think Sesko is better than Gyökeres? Because I don't think he is.
The thing is, Gyökeres right now is a better player. Sesko has the raw tools and
so he has the potential to be better, is what you're saying.
I would still go for what we need now is Gyökeres.
100%.
But in an ideal world, if you could and you're a seriously ambitious club, you sign both and you let Sesko go back on loan for like 2 years.
Wow. If we do that, I'll be absolutely amazed. The problem he's got is Havertz, bruv. Because Havertz is
saying I'm reading Google reviews. Get out of here. You guys are weird.
I ignore the chat, man. Come on, be respectful in the chat, people. Come on. Look, Havertz for me is the biggest issue because £290,000 a week, £265,000 a week for Gabi Jesus. We've got 2 players there that are on a hell of a lot of money, and I think they're going to want a lot of football. Now, Jesus maybe not so much.
Jesus is injured.
But Havertz, man, what are we going to do with him?
Dan, one thing people didn't learn from many years under Arteta by now, he's not going to throw the players he has in the house under the bus. He's not going to do that. And I think people want him to throw Arteta to start throwing players he currently has in the squad under the bus, which is stupid. When you hear him say Havertz is still going to be a big part of the team, well, duh. You're not going to then say to a player who's in the who could potentially leave in the summer transfer window that, oh, I don't have you a big part of my plans, then force you to make more moves in the same window to try to solve the problems you're making. You don't want to have a problem coming into the season with a player who's unhappy. Last thing you need is another like situation where you have a player who's looking to leave or is looking at the team and saying they're not going to be a big part of the team going forward. I think Havertz is going to get game time. I think Havertz is going to still get a lot of minutes. There's going to be a lot of games throughout the season, be it Cups, be it Champions League, be it League Cup, be it FA Cup, whatever it is. And it's a long season. We're still going to need Havertz at times, be it in the midfield or up top. It's just, I think people need to relax when they see quotes like that and just be like, hey, we signed somebody. We're signing that person to take the number 1 spot, but Havertz is still going to be part of the team. He's not just going to disappear.
I agree with that, and I'm happy for him to contribute. I've got to be honest. I don't actually mind Havertz as a squad player. I just don't want to see him playing every week up top.